Hey everybody, I'm John Swantek. Welcome to the latest edition of Match Play here on PGA Tour.com. Two from our expert panel will debate three different topics, and I'll determine who gets the better of whom in a match play format. Let's meet this week's contestants. Both of them are first-time participants. We welcome Melanie Hauser, contributor to PGA Tour.com, and Brian Katrek from the PGA Tour Network, whose show Teed Off can be heard weekday mornings on SiriusXM Radio. Ladies first, of course, so Melanie has the honors and the first topic. We're going to have some fun with Daytona 500 in the rearview mirror, Melanie. We were wondering which PGA Tour player you thought would make the best NASCAR driver and why.
You know, that reminds me of going back to the days when Greg Norman and Curtis Strange used to race their boats on Calabogie Sound. You know, these guys love fast cars, fast boats, fast everything. I got to go with Stuart Appleby, who has that Lamborghini. I mean, the guy just presses the edge on everything. So, by a slight nod, I'm going with Appleby.
Here's where I'm going, Swanee, and I've got personal experience with this.
Okay.
It's one thing to have nice cars like Stuart Appleby does and have an appreciation for them. It's another thing to have the ability to trash the nice cars and be able to drive them on the edge. I drove on the track in Chicago at the BMW Championship in somebody else's BMW behind a car driven by Ricky Fowler, and I couldn't touch him. And his dad was behind me, and he was shoving me around that track. So it's in his blood. Here's a guy who used to be a motorcycle racer, motocrossing, jumping over stuff. He is fearless. He is young. He's got all the guts you need, and I've seen him do it. This kid can steer the wheel. Look out for Ricky Fowler.
All right, Katrek, I'm going with you on that one. Young and fearless, those are good traits to have behind the wheel at 185 miles an hour. So Brian Katrek wins topic number one, and he gets topic number two. It's Accenture Match Play Championship Week, Katrek, and it got us thinking, through history, which two players do you think would combine to create the most formidable match play matchup, and who do you think would win?
I'm looking for entertaining, and a couple of guys that are multiple major champions that I think would have the most entertaining match that would be completely unpredictable. How about Phil Mickelson and Seve Ballesteros? You want to talk about, two guys who could have their golf balls sitting right next to each other in the fairway. They're not hitting the same shots ever. How'd you like to be the on-course reporter in that group? Hey, Seve's got 150 yards. What is he going to hit here? I have no idea what he's going to hit here. And I don't know where he's going to hit it, and I don't know what he's going to hit next, but I bet it's going to be good. So I'm going to go Phil and Seve, and I got to go with Seve as far as the outcome. You know, I think for whatever reason, Seve just found a way to get the ball in the hole, no matter how he did it.
And there might be a little gamesmanship, too, in that match, Melanie. What do you think?
You can't not have Seve in this. Now, I had him against Arnold Palmer because Palmer was so tough out there. I would just love to see those two go at it because you've got the guy who grabbed our attention and made golf go mainstream on television versus the guy that, you know, we couldn't get enough of in the 80s in Seve. I would love to see those two guys go at it. Plus, Palmer just wouldn't put up with some of Seve's gamesmanship. I think it'd be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson's sort of the modern-day Arnold Palmer, if you will, but we're going to go with the original, the vintage Arnold Palmer. I'm going to give that one to Melanie. The King and Seve would be a great matchup. So we're all square as we head to topic number three, and it goes to Melanie. We'll stick with the Accenture Match Play Championship. These are the top seeds this week: Lee Westwood, Phil Mickelson, Martin Kaymer, and Tiger Woods. Based on the brackets that you've seen, Melanie, which of those four is most likely to be bounced first this week?
I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be Westy. Henrik Stenson, former match play champ, gets in at the last minute. He's ready, good player. Westwood's been struggling. I can see it happening.
Katrek, it looks like Martin Kaymer has the easiest draw of the four. What do you think?
Well, that may be the case because he's taking on Sung Yul No, who is a kid we don't know. I'm just looking at Tiger because if he can get past Thomas Bjorn, who, by the way, just won a couple of weeks ago on the European Tour, look who he's got next. Either Jeff Ogilvy or Padraig Harrington. Look at the match past that one. Either Dustin Johnson, Bill Haas, Bubba Watson, or Mark Wilson, who's already won twice this year. You want to talk about the top half draw. A guy being surrounded by 7 other players that are either playing the best or have the best record in this tournament. The way it is stacked up in the upper part of the Sam Snead bracket does not look good for Mr. Woods.
Tiger's draw is brutal, and his game still is surrounded with some uncertainty. I got to go with Katrek on that one. Even though he's been great in the match play format through the years, it's going to be a tough week for Woods potentially. So Brian Katrek with a 2-1 victory over Melanie Hauser in this week's edition of Match Play. A well-fought match by both of you. Thanks very much for the time. Well played.